Good evening and happy Memorial Day, BookTube. It is about 11 p.m. the night of Memorial Day that I'm recording this. Usually I'm in bed by now, but I have off tomorrow, and my Yankees are playing the night game. I'm pointing to my tablet over here. They're playing on the West Coast. They start late, so I finally get to stay up late and watch them when they're on the other side of the country. So I may as well take advantage of the time and multitask a little bit. As we're approaching May, we're getting ready for June in just a few days. One of my favorite reading events of the year is about to start. June on the Range, which was created by Michael K. Vaughan, and as you guess by the title, it's a month where we read westerns. And this is the second time I'm participating. The first time last year, these are a couple of picks I chose from last year. I read the first two books in two series. First series was by the author C.J. Box, and it was his character Joe Pickett, a game warden in Wyoming. Love the guy. And also another series by the author Craig Johnson, the Walt Longmire series. Walt Longmire, the sheriff, coincidentally, in Wyoming as well. Really enjoyed these two. Great cast of characters too. The supporting characters or some of my favorite characters, especially Henry Standing Bear, Walt Longmire's good friend, and they got Joe Pickett's wife. She's such an important part of his life, an important part of the story. So that was last year's theme. I read a couple of novels. Now we're going in a different direction this year, nonfiction. As of right now, I have two books that I plan on reading. One, I knew from the start that it was a book that was already in my mind. It was a popular book. It was on my mind. I knew I was going to read it for this month. It's the book called Wild Bill by Tom Clavin. First of all, Tom Clavin is a pretty big name when it comes to history telling, especially in the world of the Wild West. And he wrote this book about Wild Bill Hickok, former Union soldier in the Civil War, turned gunslinger, lawman, gentleman. He's been known by many titles. And like I said, this one I've always known about this book. So I went to my Barnes and Noble, went to the history section, the Wild West section, the 1800s. Looked specifically for this. It was there, and boom. There you go. I'm looking forward to this. I've only seen documentaries about Wild Bill in the past. A lot of his life has been let's see, a lot of the myth about what we know about the West today, from what I understand, comes from the story of Wild Bill. Like when you think of two gunslingers in a duel, standing sideways, obviously smaller target when you're standing profile and stuff like that. And of course, if you're a poker player, you've heard the term the dead man's hand, the aces and eights. Kind of sick thought. You're the guy's dead. I wonder what cards he was holding. But I'm not going to tell you how he died. I'll leave it up to a little bit of surprise for you if you're interested in checking out this guy's life. While we're on the subject with Tom Clavin, like I said, he was a big name. I mean, the little sticker up here mentions he wrote Dodge City, but he also wrote another big book, which was turned into a really good movie, Tombstone. It was Wyatt Earp. I've never even seen that movie. The late Val Kilmer was in that one. That was a big hit. And of course, Tombstone is one of the most famous gun battles in the history of the Wild West. So who knows? When I get done with these two books that I have already planned, maybe I'll check out Tombstone as well. All right, now the second pick for June on the Range. I went up to my favorite place in the world. I've mentioned this many times on the channel. I will mention it many more times. Jack's Music Shop in Red Bank, New Jersey. Last year, the store expanded. They're now known as a used bookstore as well, not just music. So I went up there the other day on my day off. It was actually, I want to see a couple of videos ago, I did a little book haul videos, and in the thumbnail video is a photo of inside of the store. So definitely go back if you're interested and check that video out. I found this one. I'm just going through the books, seeing what caught my eye, and this is a story that I hadn't even thought about in years. Originally, I had seen the movie. This is a movie from 2007, 18 years ago. And the reason this book stood out to me is because it's a movie tie-in on the cover. I'll show you the cover. I'll put my hand over the title, see if you recognize this movie. Now, you can tell that's Brad Pitt on the left there, sitting down, and standing up is a young Casey Affleck, who was rising up the ranks in Hollywood at the time. Let's see. Anybody out there remember the title of this movie? Yeah, a couple of you. Yeah. Not many people saw this back then, but man, what a great movie. It's called The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, written by Ron Hansen. Like I said, that was originally, I knew it as a movie. It was a great movie too. And I had never known that it was specifically a film adaptation of a specific book. I had no idea. So when I saw this, I got pretty excited. I grabbed it immediately. It was like only $1. Pretty great condition too. And as I mentioned, not just because the movie was so good, but also, when I think back to the movie, one of the best parts of the movie was the narrator. There's a little narrator throughout the movie. It was like so like the lines stick with me to this day. It was so like beautiful and eloquent to listen to. So then when I realized that this movie I loved was a book, it got me thinking. A lot of the narration in the movie is probably lines from the book. And I've already read like the first 3 pages, and already I can see a couple lines from the book that were used for the movie, including one I'll read to you right now. All right, there you go. A little closer so you can hear me. Okay. The beginning of the book opens up. Ron Hansen gives a little description of the Jesse James himself. Now, quick little side note. I remember when I was a kid, I was in a bowling league. True story. It was me and 2 other guys on my bowling team. They were brothers. Their names were Jesse and James. Can't think about it now. I'm sure that was just a pure coincidence with the mom and dad. But we'll leave that there. Anyway, back to the book and Ron Hansen's beautiful writing, shall we? Alrighty. Like I said, the book opens up with a little description of the man. This is just one little paragraph. Not a whole paragraph, but in a couple lines I'm going to read to you. It says, 4 of his molars were crowned with gold, and they gleamed, sometimes when he smiled. He had 2 incompletely healed bullet holes in his chest and another in his thigh. He was missing the nub of his left middle finger and was cautious lest that mutilation be seen. Let's go down a line here. The getaway horse had jerked from him and fractured his ankle in the saddle stirrup so that his foot mended a little crooked and registered barometric changes. Sorry, not a professional reader. Barometric changes. Let's read that again. His ankle was in the saddle strap so that his foot mended a little crooked and registered barometric changes. That is a pretty clever line. Let me read one more for you before I butcher this completely. It says, he also had a condition that was referred to as granulated eyelids, and it caused him to blink more than usual, as if he found creation slightly more than he could accept. Isn't that a hell of a line? That's a line actually from the movie in the opening narration. So can't wait to read this one. Okay, so we'll wrap that up there, folks. They said Wild Bill and Jesse James. Looking forward to reading these 2. Also probably add a couple Western movies along the way too, like I'm sure the rest of you will. Starting with the movie, which I used in the thumbnail of this video. I don't know if anybody understood that reference. That was a clip from the movie City Slickers. It was from like the early 90s. It was about these middle-aged men. They're having midlife crisis, so they go to the West to take part in a cattle drive. Funny movie too. If I find a clip, I'll post it down below for you so everyone can see it. All right. Happy reading, people. Once again, enjoy the last hour or so of Memorial Day. And I'll see you all in June. Take care, everyone.